Good morning, everyone. It's Rod here. Welcome back to our Luang Prabang Wildlife Sanctuary. Here I am at Bear House 3. We have um, Bincy. Oh no, yes, Bincy. And also in this group we have Miaza's Bun Bun, Pickles, Ruby. We've also got Civet over here, Civet Sabai, and Margie. This is Margie, right? Here's Civet. So he's actually a male with a group of girls, but he is not able to breed. He's an older male that was rescued in 2014, but the rest of these girls were rescued in. Here is Margie and Meowsers, or Bun Bun. Bun Bun. Here we have Margie and Bun Bun. So yeah, they were all rescued in 2019 and 2020. There's Margie. Let's just get a better view for you. Here we go, and they're just having their lunch put out. So as you can see, they have this beautiful habitat. We're in the mountains of Laos. Sorry that the zoom on YouTube Live is a bit difficult to use. So hello, Civet. So he used to live by himself. He was a bit of a grumpy boy, and then he moved into this group of girls, and he's a new man. This group of young girls, he's a lot more active. He plays a lot. He wrestles with them. He's lost weight. He looks great, but he's getting a bit grey. Yeah, you can see that because he's a bit old. So he was kept in a cage on a lake in a restaurant, as used to lure tourists for many years, and then we rescued him in 2014. So he's had 11 years of care already. Bun Bun? Oh, Bun Bun. There's Margie just looking at us. So yes, Meowsers and Bun Bun are our two sisters. So moon bears often have two young. They can have 1 to 3 babies, but they often have two, as opposed to sun bears, which normally have just a single cub. Over here we've got Bruno. Hello, Bruno. And then we've got 2 brothers over here, and they have been named. What's their new names?
Michael.
Michael.
Yes.
And
ไม่รู้ว่าลืมแล้ววิสกี้อิสกี้ Michael อิสกี้ and
Michael and
อิสกี้
Izzy.
Yes.
Are you sure? These 2 brothers over here, they're 98 and 99, rescues 98 and 99, and Bruno was 101. They were all rescued. They were found in bird cages when we rescued them, believe it or not, these 3 boys. And this is actually sort of a smaller stage two area after the cubs graduate from the cub nursery. So these boys actually need to go to a bigger area. We're just building bear houses now. So yes. So that's Kung is the bear carer. Not Gung, Ip. Sorry, I don't know why I said Gung. Yeah, so we have a group of girls here in Bear House 3 and Bear House 2, a little shut-off area. And actually there's a much bigger area in Bear House 2 around the other side. Oh, here we can watch Bruno. You just missed Bruno. So one of the enrichments we have in the enclosure is a barrel feeder. So it's just to challenge their foraging skills. So, you know, the bears can't be released because they were taken from the wild as cubs. And they never learnt the survival skills from their mothers. They're also humanized. They're used to humans, so they need that fear of the humans when to survive in the wild. And also there's a lack of safe and protected forest. So we have to give them the best life we can here at the sanctuary. So they have these lovely habitats and lots of environmental enrichments like hammocks and swimming pools, and of course these outdoor areas where they can forage themselves. And some, puzzles and challenges to challenge their complex minds because they're very intelligent bears. Let's go around to the other side of Bear House 2 because they've just had the scatter feed. And you can have a look at the enclosure. This is their bear houses, so it's lovely and cool in the bear houses. They're made of concrete, so it's nice and cool inside. So they actually like to spend a lot of the hot days in the bear houses in a hammock, sleeping in there. But they do have the choice day in. They can spend as whatever time they like inside or outside. It's totally up to them. So they have that choice, which makes for more content and happy and healthier bears. So it's quite a big group of bears we have here, rescued moon bears. This group is an older group, so they would have been rescued in the we have grumpy girl called Bindi. Oh, actually that's Dee Dee. So yes, these bears were rescued around the 2012 to 2017 period, 16 period, maybe even a bit earlier in fact. Some of them back into around 2010. So yes, they have these lovely habitats where they can dig and forage, and we give them healthy diets. That's enough calories. A moon bear eats about 4,000 calories to 5,000 calories. So about I think around 5,000 calories a day. So that's about 1.5 times what an adult male human would eat. So they take quite a lot of food to keep them going. But they also get to supplement their diets with these lovely habitats. And normally both sun bears and moon bears that we rescue are solitary in the wild, but of course we can't provide a habitat for each bear, so we have to form groups. And with the girls it's easy, with the boys it's a bit more difficult. But we just have to, we've had 30 years of experience doing this, so we just have to juggle personalities and some moon bears like other moon bears, some dislike other moon bears, so we just have to work out which ones are going to get on. And generally they're pretty good, as long as they have their own, lots of space and their own sort of places they can go when they need some space. So there's lots of platforms and caves. Just trying to find Bindi. And of course, when it's feeding, they get on pretty well, but when it's feeding time, there's sometimes a bit of growling and squabbles because, of course, it's all about food, isn't it? So here, I think we have Bindi and Dee Dee. Big group. We also have oh goodness, Din, Zykio, Lom, Tracy Louise, Ratty in this group. And so you can see our carers do a scatter feed, so they spread the food all through the enclosure. So the bears have to go and forage for it using their sense of smell. So the bears have one of the best sense of smells of all animals in the animal kingdom. So it's about 3,000 times more powerful than a human. And to put that in perspective, a dog's sense of smell is about 100 times more powerful than a human. So a bear's sense of smell is about 30 times more powerful than a dog. So they live in a very scent-based world. So if there's any food out there hidden amongst the growth, they'll find it. As you can see, nose to the ground. So the sense of smell is their most heightened sense. Let's see if we can find Lom. Here's two. And as you can see, they live in this beautiful mountain valley in this lovely habitat. There's a big lake over there that they can go for a swim in. Oh, sorry. Hello, Richard Johnson says, good morning, Rod and all the beautiful bears. I like the YouTube lives. Thanks, Richard. We never really did YouTube lives before. The reason, I don't know why, it's just because we have limited resources. It was basically me, but now we've got Pissay in Cambodia helping out, and also Tyler sometimes in Vietnam. But also Facebook is now deleting the lives that we did, so YouTube's a good option because we think it's nice to have these lives stay, not be deleted. So you can see the bears are having their lunch. So someone's eating some jicama there, which is actually called Mexican turnip, and it's actually really delicious. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost a bit like a pear in taste and texture, but it's a root vegetable. Oh, there's other comments. Hello, Merca Salo. Good to see how good the environment the bears have now. Yes, the bears, I often say it's like holiday health camp for bears. Once they're rescued from the cages and come to our sanctuaries, they have these lovely habitats, healthy diets, expert vet care, and they can forage to their heart's content. Hello, Lom. Here's Lom. He's a beautiful boy. He has a lot of extra sort of fur around his head. So, Lom, 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 Lom. So he often looks like he has a concerned look, like a furrowed brow, but in fact it's just the skin folds. But he's a very, very handsome boy. Lom, 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 lom. Lom, lom, lom. Can you say hello? So yeah, there's 2 boys in this group, and then I think there's 10 girls now, and the boys are unable to breed. So normally we keep our males and our females separate, and the reason being is that we can't afford to have any pregnancies, but the boys here have been fixed up so they can't breed. Yeah, we're rescuing so many bears, we can't afford to have pregnant bears and babies born. In the future, there may be a possibility that we may need to breed bears for the survival of the species, but it's certainly not something our small charity is interested in doing at the moment. Yeah, it's just not something that's possible. If you have any questions, I see that YouTube comments do pop up, so you can ask me a question. Lom, 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 lom. Let's see, having a nice sniff of the air. Otherwise, they're having a snuffle around this beautiful habitat that they live in. Who else have we got in this group? It's a bit hard for me to identify the bears in this group, especially when they've got their nose down to the ground. I think that might be Din on the right, and I think Din is actually Lom's sister. And I think this might be Zai Ko, the other boy in the group. Zai. Anyway, they're too busy eating to pay any attention to me. So believe it or not, they do actually get to know their names, especially with their carers, who they spend get to know very well. So of course these are captive bears; they can't be released. So with captive animal care, you do have to sort of build a rapport with the animals. So their carers build up a relationship with the animals, build up a trusting relationship. And so that also helps them when the bears are in the dens. They actually teach the bears to present their paws, their teeth, and their tongue, just to make sure so they can do quick checks to see if there's any injuries or any problems. And also they teach the bears to recall, to go back to the dens. And we need to do that because, of course, we need to get into these habitats to make sure if we need to do any repairs or make any changes or improvements. So that's a part of the running a sanctuary and looking after the animals in the best possible way. If the bears did have a chance of being released, which these bears don't, but we hope in the future to have a release program, then the bears will be treated in a totally different way. You don't want them to have any contact with humans. You want them to retain that fear of humans, so they would be raised and cared for in a totally different way. And we've got some facilities already built in Cambodia and here to do that. So they're ward facilities where they don't actually see or have any contact with humans. But we're a long, long way off any releases. So at the moment, we're just testing facilities and seeing how that goes. You can't really see any bears faces. It's just all heads and I'm sure you can hear that. Lots of sniffing and munching on treats. Anyway, I thought you might like to see these lovely bears in Bear House 2 and 3. Also, some of our sponsors, some of our supporters actually have sponsored and named a bear, and so it's nice for us to be able to show them. We do have lots of bears that are just known by the rescue number. Someone found some pumpkin, and that's because we try to do some fundraising by allowing supporters to name a bear. So if you are interested in naming a cub that's been rescued, you can look on our website, or you can even it's quite an investment because we ask that you cover the annual costs, or there's another way to sponsor some star bears we have, and one of them is Lom right here. Lom, 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 Lom. So if you look on on our website, you can see how to either sponsor or adopt a name a bear. And if otherwise, we'd love it if you could become a bear carer, which is a small monthly donation, less than the cost of a coffee each week. We're not a big charity and we're rescuing huge numbers of bears, so we're really feeling the pressure. This is Bear House 2 and 3 you've seen, but we have the property right up to the top of the hill, and we're working on building bear houses. What are we up to? 8 and 9 at the moment, and then we'll go straight into bear house 10. So 8 and 9 will be finished in the next few months, and already they're going to be filled immediately by growing cubs. We have some youngish bears that are in a new primate enclosure we built, so that was supposed to be for some rescued monkeys, but we have so many bears that are coming in that we had to use it for some growing cubs. So then they'll move into the bear house, and it's just non-stop. It's really tough for us, but anyway, we do the best we can, and that's all thanks to your support. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing these beautiful bears to be rescued and given a second chance to live a life free from fear and free from pain and free from suffering in a cage. Have a great rest of your week, and you'll see me again soon because I'll be doing a few more lives from the other bear houses later in the week. So you've seen 2 and 3. So I'll be coming from 1, which is some bear house from the cub nursery, maybe tomorrow, and then we'll work our way up the hill 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you. Have a good one. Ciao.